Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down.
Loot.bet, made for live betting.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into a second map. A nice short little break for us before we got back into the series. Keeping that momentum flowing, keeping all the teams and all the players prepped and ready for the second map. It is going to be Dust 2, a map that we spoke about before we sort of took a little bit of a break, and a map that Offset, whilst they know how to perform better on, Unique, we've got to say, looked like very hot prospects in that first to then give us a very exciting series. So we'll see how that entails, but if we look at it, Offset have had better results, have had better performances, and should be putting Nuke behind them to come into this second map and give it their all, perform their best, try and survive in the series. I mean, the loser of this, they're a single best of 3 away from elimination, so no team wants to be in that position. So we'll see a fight in this one for sure.
Yeah, I think so, and you know, like you say, it's a much more comfortable map. It possibly is going to depend, as we've said over on Nuke, on those individuals. If Zorte especially can, you know, pick it up in the same way once again, then I am worried for the Offset side. They really could not deal with him in a lot of the rounds, and he was just able to take the game by its tail and was completely dictating the pace and controlling everything pretty much. So it's a bit of a scary prospect. They do need to be careful, but all the same, Offset, like you say, it's a relatively decent map for them, so it could go either way. I think this one's going to be the most interesting map of the series for sure, and hopefully Offset can give us a good showing here going into things.
Yeah, like you said, I think with Zorte being as on form as he was, just a single kill away from a 30 bomb actually in that first map. 122 ADR though, which is insane. An overall map rating of 1.76. I think is one of the best map ratings across this entire league so far. But yeah, like you said, with the fact that now second map coming, we'll see what they can deliver, but it's going to be Unique at least taking the knife round, giving them the opportunity to select the side of their choice, and of course it should be the CT side. Everyone on Dust 2 does prefer this side of the map to begin with, and that will be the case. So, Unique, this is going to be, again, a chink in the armor of Offset if they start the way that they started on Nuke, allowing Offset a lot of control and a lot of maneuverability early in this map. Of course, it was T-side they began on Unique, so maybe that can have a small effect, but I think overall we know which is the better side, and we'll see what they can deliver. So, CT side to begin here for Unique, of course. They do have a defuse get onto Pulp. It is always nice to see a couple of flashbangs here and there as well. The rest on Kevlar, fairly standard setup. A split default for the T side to begin through lowers and toward the top of the A site. So a decent slow-paced pistol to start off Dust 2. Everything we need for a very sporadic map like this one. Beautiful nade as well. Down onto Zorte. He's going to be left to 44. It's a lot of damage inflicted early, and if they capitalize on it, that will see a great advantage, but it is only a 1-for-1 trade. Zorte does get out alive. Maybe would have wanted him to die first to keep the HP high, but the flash was good. Just can't convert on it, though. That'll be down into a 4-on-3. The rest of this T side, not stuck into middle, but definitely reluctant of moving at the moment. Even with 2 kills found, and they know a third player's low. 50 seconds on the clock. They have to sort of edge their way forward fairly soon. I'm pretty sure OBJ was spotted top middle as well, but a lot of precedents set toward mid for Unique right here, and this could really work out. A diversion toward the A site. Ashenoid takes down one, and OBJ will fall. It goes from bad to worse. I think Unique, they have just done enough here.
Oh, they've kind of called the wrong bomb site, though. I think they were hoping to catch someone off guard here in the tunnels, and unfortunately, he'd already slipped through their fingers. PR is able to escape, just says A is clear. I'll try and hold things down, just get one, but traded back, thankfully enough there for Unique. And again, they're still a bit unsure because, you know, just was getting aggressive towards the underpass, but I'm a little bit, confused by Offset. As you can see from Passionoid's body language, he too was kind of like, are they coming back towards B then, or what? But it would seem not left themselves enough time, like you said, around that 50-second mark. They need to start making a decision, and it just took them a little bit too long, I think, to make said decision, and it ends up costing them. So a relatively good start to the round, but then they panic, they lose their cool, and it ends up costing them the round. So not a great way for Offset to start, and again, coming into their map pick, bit of hype behind it for them in terms of it being a comfortable map, and they start off looking intrinsically uncomfortable throwing away the pistol round.
That's a scary part, especially just for Offset on this T side with the opening that they've got at Pult. Nice little double nade, a lot of damage inflicted off of the back of that. The rest to clean up. MP9 even doing a great deal of work as well to provide nice economy. Would have been nice to follow that nade to see the explosion, but either way, you know how much damage against unarmored opponents that a nade can do. Second on the board for Unique, of course, starting as they did on that first map, and now with the rifle round in the hands of the T side here, we'll begin to see them maybe develop, maybe grow into their rifles, and that should be the aim of this side. Again, looking for more of a bonus round from Unique. 2 players onto those MP9s. I think in a position like this, they're definitely viable. With Passionoid toward the B tunnels and all, the spam can definitely come through here. He will only land 1, though. And as they do lose Vicious already in the process, already a weaker CT side, so it seems like Offset might have got a little lucky. B bomb site of Dust 2, arguably one of the hardest sites to retake across this entire game. An endeavor that Unique will not be taking. Looking to save 3 rifles, one of them being a scout, which is a weaker weapon, but Zorte can definitely pop off in his time, so not too bad of a decision, but a first round to Offset that does see them already putting 1 on the board. Just a little bit of a confidence boost, and now they need to work off of this and not allow Unique to take control much like they did in that first half.
Yeah, it's a slim victory, though, has to be noted. Again, Team Unique, 1 or 2 more kills go their way, and the round probably ends up being theirs if ultimately they keep control of B, I think, was the main issue for them there, obviously, and not fancying the retake with a scout, and again, the weaker weaponry coming in. Nonetheless, they're going to be able to fight back here. That scout still in play for Zorte. Would like to see him on an automatic weapon at least, because he was looking real good on it over back on Nuke. But all the same, the rest of the team comfortably able to buy back up. So the pressure's still on for Offset. Not quite out of the woods as yet, as they say. But they do gain long control for now. So a nice opening 20-30 seconds for them. They have a bit of a breather to maybe line up some utility here from the pit position. Do need to be careful, though. That scout, again, still in play. Oh, my goodness. Beautiful shot coming in. And actually tagging just down to 20 earlier on as well. So essentially 1.5 kills at the very least here. And as Pult picks up 1 on short, it's looking very, very good for Team Unique.
And what a way to bounce back, especially as you said, that scout, whilst you'd want to see it upgraded, it's more of a risk taker than any. OBJ and PR. Whilst they do land themselves a nice couple of kills, it is traded back again, and there is still just down to 20. That's always going to be a massive factor to see what he can bring. And, well, as he's only the last man alive now, a simple bullet will finish him off. And whilst he does bag one, Flashbang was good. Still thinks the player is inside of Gandalf. As he does go for the wide swing, will get shut down because of it. 3-1. Unique bouncing back instantly. Getting such a nice shot out of Zorte. The Dodo standing no chance against that scout. An Offset back onto a rebuy by the looks of things, but it's only going to be semi. Just cannot afford fully into this one, so they'll buy up pistols and Kevlar. OBJ himself will get a little bit of a scout in hand, see what damage he can deliver off of it. Zorte, you can see though, look at the inclination to peek. It's not going to work though. OBJ, scout headshot in the last and one for him this time, and AWP looking to be reserved and picked up. That is something that PR is able to do. So a couple of rifles now in the hands of this T side. Going to give that one out to Stadodu as well, see what he can deliver with it. I think he is one of the secondary ops as well that does help out with OBJ's duties. So far, at least, have landed themselves that first kill. They know now the AWP is lost, so that's something that... Oh, he still thinks it's down, actually. That... Yeah, you're not going to find anything there, buddy. It's already gone. Realizes now that they do have the AWP in hand. And with the way that Passionoi is set up, can definitely slow down the eco rush, which surely Offset will want to bring out with the rest of their pistols, but Stadodu edging even closer. Passionoi going to put himself on this box of have a little bit of a height advantage, but something that Stadodu surely should be aware of. And Vicious, beautiful lineup, triple out of him. Back into a 2-on-2. This is now very doable. Polt saves the life of Robin. And it is all down to Zlinks. Bomb is on the site. Definitely can wrap around and get a flank, but realistically has to try and take down Polt first if he wants to survive. And as he does move up from this middle position, timing was good and sneaks through the door, but misses the first shot. 4-1 Unique, taking a 3-round lead coming into the next buy round of Offset.
Yeah, close for Offset. You have to admit, maybe a little too close with what they had purchased up, but Team Unique able to get the round nonetheless. It is, in that case, though, you know, the CT side, the brittle economy that we're always going on about, they are looking good. They've got a pretty strong lead, and yet the money is just not really there, at least in reserve. So it'll be difficult to get back in if they end up losing this one. And OBJ finding the opener, PR finding a second opener, means that I think the round is pretty much over because of especially that money that they don't have on the Team Unique side of things. Offset, once again, the B-bomb site does seem to be a little bit of a difficult spot at the moment for Team Unique. There have been a good couple rounds here where they've lost control, or it's come down to kind of the retake, but unfortunately, because it's so fast from Offset going in towards B, they have no control, no quick rotations or anything like that. It completely caught off guard, and obviously, like I say, they're just going to look to save, and they don't fancy their chances trying their best at the moment to keep away, but Offset are semi-hunting. They themselves don't have a great deal of money, so it is very trying times for both sides. I think we might just see a buy coming in here. I guess a Famis could be dropped by Polt. Passionoi can sort of look after himself, just barely. It's not ideal for Team Unique, but I wouldn't be surprised if they go for it.
Yeah, and that's exactly the case. They do seem like a team that they can get a purchase. They will go for it. Will spend the necessary money required. It can lead to a breaking point, though, unfortunately, but something that, as of yet, will not come. Look at the way that they're set up right now. That AWP in lower tunnels. Oh, timing just off there. Also has to play safe, and definitely will. But PR not going to overextend either. That's the one thing that they didn't really want to happen. They don't want to lose a first man from that T side. 1:20. Left on the clock with Femvicious in toward lower tunnel. Does have a lot of info. OBJ, what a flick shot. Zorte already going to be plucked out of thin air. Oh my god, and even tags down a second as well. OBJ's having an absolute field day in this mid position. 2 players. One already dead, one significantly tagged. Unique now been made so incredibly weaker. And this A bomb site going to be taken by the T side. They have read this ball on the CT though. At least 3 players stacked appropriately, but damage already inflicted. And losing a second man would now be detrimental. And with no info gathered as of yet toward this A long position. Ooh, PR. A battle he had to win and did. As they cross over toward that A site. Halt the first line of defense, but he dies and that is essentially the round over already. And, well, as Robin falls, whoever died, it would make a significant impact. Even with time limited, he has to try and hit this jump shot on the bomb. But yeah, not even going to happen. 4-3, forced by not working out for Unique. Now down into an Eco and T side. They're way back in early tier to tie the scoreline and get themselves at least competitive in this second map now.
Yeah, definitely. They've been given a good chance here. Often considered a bit more T-sided as well. So if they can get the money rolling, which they already are quite early on into this little mini comeback, then it could be really good for them to just keep the pressure on and shut down Team Unique after a relatively good start from them. Nothing crazy, but they were able to work with the early advantage that they were given. So we'll see here how far Offset are able to take this. Just a couple P250s bought up for Team Unique. Bit more of a B stack coming in. In fact, an entire B stack that unfortunately isn't going to work out because there's nobody around. Robin will find PR, who was that flanking player. It is an AK retrieve, to be fair, but it's going to be a full amount of info. They've actually had a player drop out here, which is unfortunate, and it could definitely spur Team Unique in a round like this where they've spent very little. They could possibly find a bit more. Gonna look to overwhelm at long. So they just pick up 2. Running out of ammo though, gotta be careful. We'll manage to back away, and they're unsure whether there's more players eventually moving forwards, but Sturdy are doing a great job of holding things down. Robin didn't want to fully commit and lose that AK if he didn't have to. And I think with a triple spray down, he's not fancying his chances. So just gonna look to save this AK into the next round. Tiny bit of damage done. Suppose they get lucky in the sense that Offset lose a player, but nonetheless, Offset will get the 4th round and back up to even pegging.
Yeah, now with gun round to come out of Unique, he's saving that one. AK does give the chance of Robin to buy full Kevlar, full utility. Zorte does go down for a glass cannon AWP, which can get a little risky. Can definitely bode it to be quite a dangerous aspect, but AWP doesn't particularly need Kevlar. Offset, however, looking much hotter than what they did in that first map. This time straight out toward A-Long. Seems like a faster round to come from this T side. The flash was good. A trade out, at least by Stadodu. Losing that first man on the entry is never a good start for Offset, but at least they're able to make it back fairly evenly. Zorte playing with this AWP onto the A site as well. Typical of an AWP to play maybe a little more reserved onto a catwalk, but might have the element of surprise here from Unique if they can catch a peek out, but seem fairly reluctant to advance up toward A-Long now, which does digress the majority of Unique out toward this despawn position, rotating down towards B. So a smart read out of the round so far for the Portuguese. 55 seconds on the clock and plenty of time to do this as well. They only have a single man of defense on this A site from Passionoid, and the fact that now OBJ has dropped that smoke does just keep these 2 further players in toward the A bomb site, which now if there's a time to strike for the T side, the time is now. Get those Molotovs out of tunnels, get the smokes down to block that vision. Passionoid though, beautiful game sense. Drops a smoke of his own just to delay them a tiny little bit. Will rotate off of the back of it, though. Not too sure why they've left the B bomb site fully unmanned now, but OBJ, a single man has literally drawn an entire 4-man rotation. They won't even realize at the moment that the B bomb site's been lost. Now they do, but OBJ's in the flanks to strike for one. A beautiful round out of Offset thus far, and with OBJ tag low, should be traded, but I mean, bomb's already down. They do have a man coming in from tunnels, but this is mighty difficult to win. They need a first kill in the next 5 seconds or so, something that Ashnoi is looking to do, but what a read from Offset, and what an absolute fake they've pulled off here that should win them the round. Unless Forte takes out one, yeah.
We'll see. Another one going to be picked up. Oh my goodness, he actually
Jeez.
finds all 3. So, I mean, unless, for sure, got that kit available as well, as he's in good time to get the defuse. And the individual stepping up, we had sung his praises for quite some time and maybe been a bit quiet up until then. Only had 2 frags, actually the lowest fragger on the server, combined with Zlinks. So, not all bad, but in the same strain, you know, definitely lacking the impact that he was having over on Nuke, but getting up into his hands, put him under a bit of pressure. He comes alive, and as soon as, you know, the old classic, as soon as that lead is under contention, Team Unique are able to pull it back in their favor and looking good to open it once again. But the B bomb site continues to plague the Russian side. Offset, they take down Passionoi as he gets a bit greedy on the jump peak for the information. This time, though, they will at the very least be able to get some players across, but running through smoke's not really advisory. PR picking up 2, just going to take down Polt way too easily, and it's kind of desperate from Team Unique. Zorte will find Stadodo and kind of gives him the room to back away and save, but I don't know, man. As soon as they, you know, pick up that round, it looked really clean, looked really good. I suppose they rely on the individual, and then that round is so very messy from Team Unique.
Again, it's that single-man B-site setup what's currently becoming the undoing of them, unfortunately. Not being able to fully control that B-site. Might get a couple of exits here and there from AWP of Zorte. He will catch out PR, so at least some damage to be inflicted. Very tied up first half so far, 5-5. Now that CT side again will be facing off against the Music. An eco round to come. They will be able to purchase, of course, into round number 12, but this does give Offset the chance at taking the lead. What I believe might be the first time in its entire best of 3 so far, so see what they can do. OBJ again looking to exploit that middle position, trying to catch out the first man. A peek into lower coming from Zorte, though, something that could definitely be fruitful, but with no men toward the B tunnels, not this time. Offset playing such a slow round even against an anti-eco, showing that they're definitely capable of controlling this scenario. Well, at least a tag onto Fenvicious and some info gathered. That should just send the rest of Offset toward the A site now. PR already takes out Passionoi. Ooh, Zolte, nice shot in return, though. Closes down at least a trade. Again, he's such a solid single-man save if he goes into a round on his own with a rifle. He can definitely muster up a couple of kills here and there. Great damage delivered. Nothing of it, though, to come as Just finds 2. Should be the round closed off already. Not unless Zorte has anything to do about it. There's the second out of him. The Molotov to be dropped as well. Peeking inside of it. What a shot! Zorte looking like an absolute monster at the moment. They don't... No, they do have a defuse kit. Okay, this now gets into a little bit of a contentious moment with the Dodu down to 24. Nearly gets a shot through the smoke there, Zorte. Eventually will fall. That should be the round now done. Fenvicious, he finds the last kill, might get time, but unfortunately not able to do so. But again, so much damage done in essentially a full eco with a saved weapon. That shot was incredible, though. That was the one that sealed it for me. He could have won that if he'd have found Stadodu, but Offset lucky to come out of that round with a victory.
Yeah, certainly they are fighting back, though. This is looking a lot more competitive than Nuke, which was a relatively one-sided affair the whole way through, to be honest. Oh, Zorte going to get taken down through the smoke. The long rush coming in, and it's looking good from Offset. A lot of utility expended, so you'd hope that it works successfully. But in and around the smoke, Zorte and Robin cannot find anything. One through the smoke, one on the edge. Trying their damnedest, but really not able to get anything done. I suppose a bit of damage traded back, but ultimately a 5-on-3 now for Team Unique that have got to try and recover. Still certainly easier said than done. But we'll see. Passionoi is hidden in the smoke, going to go pushing forwards and actually takes down Zlinks. So that's a flanker picked up and a kill brought back their way, making it look a little more doable. Again, with those low HPs dotted in here, anything is possible. OBJ going to be faking out A. I don't think Passionoi is going to rotate just yet, or maybe he is, maybe he isn't. They're not entirely sold. They're actually going to take him down as he maybe pushed a bit too far forwards. I don't mind the utility coming in, but yeah, I think he committed a bit too hard to the fake there. Ends up going down, and again, these low HP players with only 30 seconds left, it's got to be the B bomb site, just so clean as you like, able to get one. Venficious, they love running through these B doors. Not able to find anything, though. Pushed away. The Molotov not quite good enough. However, Polt gets one, but traded back. Venficious 1-on-2. The bomb has yet to go down, but gets taken down through the smoke. Just reads him like a book. Manages to get himself a 3K, and Offset continue to extend their lead somewhat.
The more rounds to take on this T side, the easier it gets realistically for Offset. Now, once again, the eco has to come through for the CT side. This now starts to add a question of how Dust 2 is going to play off for this team. Scout into the hands of Zorte, spending quite a little bit of money to be able to bring that one to light, but you know what he can do with it, so it's definitely a buy round that can profit. They are on this close corner. Just check it. Passionoi quicker to react, though, and that's a free rifle to be given to the CT side. Would have maybe loved that to be given to Fenvicious on his way out of B tunnels, as he does have Kevlar, but see what they can do. Holt positions nicely up toward this A site. Zorte close to landing the spam, but the flashbangs are way too good. Also ready to fall. OBJ does receive a little bit of damage in return, but bomber ready to be planted, and in this 4-on-4, even with manpower being level, this rifle has to pop off, and again, would have liked it to be given to Fenvicious, but he has the Deagle. 2 shots out of him. Stadodu does find the return. And again, down into a 3-on-3, make it 2. Zorte maybe trying to get himself a better weapon, but not going to work this time. And well, that is the round done. Fenvicious is looking to save an AWP, which will be a very nice carryover. But 8-5. An Offset, they do win the first half, at least with minimum rounds required. Fenvicious going to be lucky to survive. They will over-aggress him down toward this long position. Have a man inside of Longhouse as well, so no chance of surviving with that AWP. And 8-5. Last chance in this first half for Unique. Lose this one, and it might just be double figures for this T side, but at least they do have this fighting chance to keep themselves in this half. Make it 8-7 like Offset did on that first map of Nuke.
Maybe an opportunity, though, for Unique. We have seen how good their T side is. I think it was a little bit of an outmatch just on the map itself, but all the same, those individuals, again, can really step up, but they did seem to have some really good executes in the back pocket. So if they've got the same amount of preparation on Dust 2, which is going to be difficult to tell until we get into the second half, I think they really could fight back here, and any help they can give themselves in this first half by picking up a round or 2 before we finish would really do them well. It would certainly bode well going into the second half. A slower round coming in, though, as we've seen some very fast ones from Offset that seem to work more often than not. They are clean with their openers for sure. The entry frags have been really, really good, but running the clock down for just over a minute here. A bit of utility expended as well on short. So it's a later push in, and I think this is slightly more telegraphed, honestly. There's so many smokes around, though. Molotov going in deep as well. Zorte has got the open spot, though. He finds one. Backs away to a crack angle, gets another. That's going to be the bomb revealed and dropped, I believe, although they might not have spotted it because the rotators are not moving. Doesn't quite react fast enough, though. PR going to take his head clean off. Pult, meanwhile, is hidden away. Why are the rotators still not moving in yet? We've also got a player pushed down long. I think they've misread this situation completely. OBJ will take out Pult in Goose with a nice little pre-fire, but all the same, there's nobody really around from the CT side. It's going to be a lot of time that Offset have got to play with in terms of getting into the post plants, in terms of just running the clock down simply. So we'll see. There's no kits available either for the CT side. They needed to be here a bit quickly, and the round's over and done with in about 5 or 6 seconds, really. So I think it's all but over at this point. Someone needs to get on the bomb like right now, because that bomb is so far ticked. It's planted for short as well. Going to be pretty much impossible. A kit has actually been retrieved, but unfortunately Just will peek out and take out both. PR finds the final kill, but the round was over by that point. It's just a bit of a shame. Again, Zorte's individual play goes completely unhelped, I suppose I could say, and Team Unique lose another round. Offset then really extending their lead here.
Like you said, it was just unfortunate they misread. It's the Dodu. Oh boy, seems like Unique. They're going to get the... already slapped up in this first half by the looks of things. Double digits not going to be escaping Offset thus far. The first kill already to be inflicted. And again, with the weaker weaponry from this T side, the fact that then a UMP and a FAMAS and a Scout as well back on Zorte. If there's one man at this point that you want comfortable, it's Zorte with how good that he was in the first. But just already able to take down Robin through the smoke toward A house as well. Do they know the second man here, though, for the T side? That's one thing they will have to be aware of toward blue container, but Tododu reads him like a book there. And already a 5-on-2. Zorte and Passionoid left alive, and the M4 going through lower tunnels. It's a very slow rotate again, but they had nothing off of the back of the info to work with, unfortunately. Just did get dropped down to 5 points of health, but shouldn't have too much of a conceivable difference in the overall perspective of the round. And with Zlinks playing a nice little off angle, yeah, he'll take down both. As simple as you like. 10-5 double digits confirmed by Offset. And a much better performance out of the second map than what we saw in the first. They're fighting for survival in this series.
Yeah, for sure. It is really good to see as well that they bounce back completely, just writing off that first map, seeing it now as a bit of a best of two kind of scenario instead. Really impressed with what they've managed to pull out. And pretty much everybody pulling their weight. Zlinks has been a little bit towards the lower end, but they've looked very, very impressive. That B bomb site for Team Unique, though, was a massive, massive issue. Maybe things will change as we get into the T side here from Unique.
Yeah, and we'll now get to see what they can do on this T side, but the way that Offset have been going, it looks great for them. Find out what happens in that second half after a short break, brought to you by Loot.bet.
Loot.bet, made for live betting.
And here we go. Pistol round now for second half to begin with. Offset onto arguably the more comfortable side of this map. Diffuse kit in hand for Zlinks, and again two flashbangs. P250 being purchased for Zorte. Again, some utility for him, of course, but we'll see what they can bring to the table. Unique, a fast play towards short. It's nice. There's pace to this round, but Zlinks, that was through the smoke there to catch already a first kill. And what an explosive way to begin the pistol round. 2 kills found, and Pult even can't convert onto that third. Robin taken out of the situation, and it seems like pistol round is already in the hands of Offset. I don't even think they'll lose a man at this point. And they don't. What a way to kickstart the CT side.
Indeed, certainly coming in with a message for Team Unique. looking really strong there, and Team Unique maybe a little bit desperate. I think Dust 2, not a map that they've worked on a great deal by the looks of things from what we've seen in the first half and now coming into the second half. I think they were thinking what we were thinking, just kind of rely on the individuals and underestimating Offset somewhat, and it has cost them quite a lot early on. It's still doable, especially, being on the T side here. If they can get their economy strong and keep the Offset economy in check, it is definitely doable, but easier said than done at this point. All the same, they will force up into this round, try and find something with the Deagles combined with the Scout that Zorte seems to love going for. I suppose obviously has been that AWPer as well at the moment for Team Unique. But we'll see. Bit of utility towards A, towards short particularly, and they're going to try at the very least to get this bomb down. Slink's in at ramp. Over at Goose, he's got a bit of help from OBJ, but OBJ only able to get one. Slink's not able to get any. Just as well going to fall. Zorte again taking matters into his own hands. And he's found out where they all are at the moment. The remaining two CTs coming in from CT, and they will get absolutely ripped apart. Team Unique fighting back just as dominantly as Offset started proceedings here in the second half, and they will get that force buy on the board, completely catching off the A defense.
And that's a really good round to win now. Offers them a couple more into this T side, just because, again, Offset have gone for a force buy themselves. If they can't convert this one, then surely Unique are right back into the game. They can get the 11-8 scoreline on the board before the first rifle round. Oh, Zorte again just catches out OBJ through the door. He's been looking still monstrous in this second map. Polt again to find the second. Take out Just. Already added massive impact to this T side, ensuring that they should be getting through this round fairly cleanly. Just not able to keep all 5 players alive, though. Down to 2 points of health on Stadodu's. Lynx shot a little bit too preemptively there, and not able to catch himself a break. Will be spotted, will be manned down, ensuring that Unique hold that long position. But an AK to be saved by PR. The Kevlar of every single man looking to be carried over, and Zlink's playing for the exits as well. So, a decent save coming out of Offset. And they will have to eco for the next round, of course, which realistically should be giving an 11-8 scoreline. But the fact that Unique now do get that force buy spells them on a great resurgence. And with Offset not being that too far out in front, we would have been seeing more of a 13-5 sort of scoreline if everything would have gone to plan. That would have been a massive barrier for Unique to come back from, even if they could generate a few rounds here and there. The likelihood of Offset reaching 16 before they even mount as many to tie things up on the Unique side would have been fairly large. So just by winning that one force buy round, it gives them a very nice entrance back into the game. That was a lovely shot by Zorte as well. But here we go. Even with save weaponry, an eco round to come out of Offset should be an 11-8 going into the first gun round. Maybe this second map looking a little more dicey than what it could have done once we knew that Offset won that pistol. It was looking a little more clear-cut, but back to being clouded with mystery now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can certainly say that again. It is a very difficult one to call. And I mean, there's some weapons in this round for Offset, as we've seen. A bit of early aggression comes in. They trade 1 for 1. It's not ideal. But all the same, it's looking relatively good at this point in time. You never know, though. They could find something else. PR is trying to get cheeky with the AK. Maybe, just maybe, but unfortunately nothing coming over at short. He really wants to find something, though. He keeps reappearing and no one around. Team Unique playing it well. You know, they are playing the slow kind of style. Bit of information gathered at mid as well to be like, right, there's one crossing, be prepared. Just as in with the Deagle, they need to be respecting this. Oh, perfect angle from him to get one. Able to back away and finds a second as he gets the reset. OBJ, perfect timing to come in. That's the bomb dropped once again at the feet of the CTs. They are going to try and fight their way back in, but it's not looking good at the moment. They get absolutely ripped apart, and Offset do exactly what Team Unique did to them. Both teams struggling against the pistols. And I don't know, it just kind of begs the question. There's so much utility there. Polt, I didn't quite catch Passionoid, but Polt had full utility. None of it used at all trying to go in towards B.
It's just kind of amateur, right? Especially, like you said, with two players on at least full or semi-full utility. That would have been their entrance to the site, would have been the way for them to gather themselves, gather the composure. But yeah, unfortunately, in the heat of the moment, things just fall apart. And this time, Unique, whilst they are back into that gun round, Offset creating such a large barrier now, ensuring that the CT side, if they take away this next gun round, they'll be cruising toward a really confident scoreline of maybe a 12 and a 13th and a 14th round. OBJ, however, takes down the first, but 3 returned by Unique. Just showing at the push of a button, a change of pace, how quickly the rounds can differ. Unique saying to Offset, we're not fully out of this yet. AWP to be given to and Vicious as well, just because of the lower HP, of course. Flashbang allows the entrance to the bomb site, but a save already coming out of Offset. Their money not yet stable. Link's down to 50, but will be able to rebuy. Stenodu can drop, providing that he saves the rifle. But Unique just staying competitive. A couple of consecutive rounds here and there out of this T side. They'll be right back, knocking on the door again to tie things up. But what a weird way to start this second half. So back and forward with the force buys and the pistols. Seeming like a lot of teams just can't overcome them. They lose that first man and try and look for an instant trade rather than regrouping, thinking logically, to then reapproach the round from a different perspective. It just seems to catch them in the heat of the moment and they can't do anything about it. At least a couple of rifles to be carried over by Offset, but 8 on the board for Unique. Rebuy should come for the CTs, and it is kind of last chance for them as well in the early stage of the second half, just to keep them level. Or else Unique will be right back into this, and again looking so balanced on this second map. I think way more than the first here. We'll see what comes of this. Rebuy out of the CT side, decent utility. Only a single kit, but manageable. Unique again, looking for this T side, a long control, and Zorte, beautiful entrance. That's what you want to see out of him.
Indeed, working off the spawn as well, which is really nice. Gets very lucky that it's him, and they're going to look to work off of that great flash coming in here from Passionoid, in fact. I suppose that's one thing they've been trying to work out, a little bit more of a supportive element for the Unique side with the new additions / stand-ins, not entirely sure. I believe before this, Fanat Rocker was playing with them, right? So, and then he's always going to be in the star player, right? So it's maybe a bit surprising, not sure what's going on there. Perhaps unhappy with where they've been at the moment and looking to try and, you know, pull in something fresh. And a very dominant first map, and now definitely fighting back. They're going to break this economy. There's only 2 players surviving on the Offset side, so probably not enough to justify buying into the next round. Meanwhile, the T-side economy is starting to get strong, especially with not losing a single player here. So within 3 rounds and definitely in doable territory for Team Unique. But Offset, all the same, have looked very, very good on this CT side. It's just kind of, I mean, we're hovering on them at the moment. Again, it's where those individual players that are not really pulling their weight can actually be a lot more detrimental on that CT side for sure. They leave serious chinks in the armor, as we've both kind of been saying across the course of this second half. And some of these rounds are opening up because Zinx is not able to pull his weight and not able to work around his teammates. But we'll see. A full eco coming in, so it will most likely be Unique going to 10, but we're not entirely sure with a game like this one. Yeah, it could go either way. A B rush is what is on the cards, though, and I think this is certainly going to be doable. They're against PR with a P250. Zinx will find Passionoid at middle, but it should be all she wrote for this one.
Especially now that B site's locked down, just going to fall. Ensure that, like you said, it should be locked down fairly quickly. Zinx will just want to save that rifle, just see if he can take it over into the next round and Dodo has the AK as well. This should be double figures already on the board for Unique. However, time is ticking in this one. That's how you should orientate a B rush. In a round like that, where you know your enemies are weaker, you know they're not going to have a full setup on the site. And we saw that in the Vexed LDLC game, when Vex tried to rush the B bombs like on a full buy from LDLC. And we saw how that ended up. So Unique not going down the same path, but this time, buy round to come from Offset. And a one chance for them, a one scenario. They have to now keep themselves in the game, because lose this one, Unique will definitely be here to tie the scores in the next couple of rounds. A double AWP setup brought out by OBJ and Stadodu. Scarily, both of them on a glass cannon, which isn't the best scenario, but it definitely works. Again, Robin going to peek out toward A long fast. Stadodu backing off, just choosing to stay. And they kind of had to full commit off of the back of that, but they will now look to play it safe. I think just kind of overstayed his welcome a little bit, but was able to get the kill off of the back of it. And OBJ a second entry. And Unique, they seem to fall back into previous patterns. Again, another decline in this T side. A 5-on-3 now to work with. And it seems like Offset, they're rebuilding the barrier once again. Pulling away on the CT side, and Unique seem to be not able to control it. They lose the first man, it all falls apart. They look for the trade, just can't find it. Offer themselves split 1v1s. And even with a minute left on the clock, and Zorte trying to play as tactful as ever. Oh, Molotov does spread down to 2 HP. Not able to fully confirm the kill there, Zorte. That's really unfortunate. Still a 5-on-3, 45 on the clock. And it seems like maybe they want a mid to B split here, which it definitely seems like the case. The man inside of tunnels. Bomb now to join them. See how this entails. 2 players toward the B site for the CT side. The tunnel players have to move now. Attention divided. That's the way to enter into a site. And now look at Passionoy. He locks it down from inside of mid. It's beautiful from Unique. Stadodu last man alive. And that's how you transform around. Surely they don't lose this now.
Yeah, we'll have to see. It is certainly close, but playing off of each other at the moment. No one peeking, though. They recognise he's got an AWP. They respect that he's got an AWP, and he doesn't fancy his chances. The glass cannon, unfortunately, again, that weak economy coming back to bite Offset in the backside. My goodness, we've certainly got a game on our hands as Team Unique will pull it up to 11. Again, after it felt like they did not have a right to do so. Looking really good then. Offset, no money going into the next round. It is Team Unique's chance to start looking at closing this one out, perhaps, if they can gain the lead. That is what they would be after. And this is kind of where, you know, Team Unique are like, all right, boys, 2-0s on the horizon. Looks good. And meanwhile, Offset, the opposite end of the spectrum, the 2-0 defeat is on the horizon. The pressure is on. A pause coming in, but maybe a bit too late. One thing that I think a lot of teams around this level, what splits them for me is kind of the use of the pauses. We talked about it yesterday as well. But there are some teams that do a really good job, especially those more sort of MDL level teams, right? Where it'll get to like 12-9. You've got a good lead, you've still got a bit of money, but it could be a really key round. You recognize what could happen in the future, and you'll take a pause at that point. Then you've got what has happened, I would imagine it's Offset's pause, and you know, you come in here and your lead is, you know, now just a round after it was like 4 or 5 at one point, and then you call a pause, but it's perhaps too little too late. Unique have already got the momentum. You're also giving them time to talk things over and work out what to do. And you've only got, you know, this pause has to be perfect. It has to work magnificently. You can't make any mistakes with this round that you're now talking about. And also there's maybe a bit of a win condition that it's like, if Team Unique do this, then we do this and we'll win the round. But if they do this other thing, then it gets away from us and our plan doesn't work anymore. It's a very, very small margin for error that Offset have left themselves.
Like you said, maybe the pause should have come in a couple of rounds earlier. Again, it still kind of plays a rough fact that they're taking a pause, if it is tactical. I mean, it's a little extended, so maybe there is a small tech issue, but let's base it on the premise that it is tactical. taking a pause in an eco round like this, you really go into the round as more of a discussion. And surely not looking to get too much out of this. They do have that single AWP rest on pistols, though. And you're sort of setting yourselves up to lose this round, but then to bring in that strategy, to deploy what you've just spoken about going into the next rifle round. So we'll see what Offset can maybe counter, see what they can deliver. Well, a first kill already out of Fenvicious. Make it a second. It's fairly simple stuff. 2 kills already garnered by the T side. And shouldn't be getting all too much more out of it, considering just burning alive in the molly. No time for him to survive. A 5-on-2 that should see Stadodu just go and save his AWP, but a quick round out of Unique to make light work of it. 12-12 scores the tide, and a pivotal turning point coming up next. This rifle round of Offset going to have a lot of weight to it, and as you said, the pressure is now on, considering that Offset did have the 5-4 round barrier lead they had earlier in this first half. Or, sorry, in the second half. Unique now, they're only a single round away from taking the lead. Playing on the mines. Surely it's got to. The fact that Unique, if they close this map, take the series. Gotta be spelling them on here. And Offset, they need to bounce back. This next gun round has to be the time to do it. They won't have too many more chances. It will be a plentiful gun round at that. Should be maybe a double AWP setup as well, with the fact that Stadodu can buy Kevlar and drop one out for OBJ as well if he does do so. But it seems like PR will be the man to do that. So either way, double AWP setup. It is kind of vital for this to play off, though. It's a massive investment if they lose this. That's where Unique, they could really harness control. But, of course, retroactively speaking, 12-12. And Offset, the fight of their lives comes now on the second map.
Well, all to play for then. It is really, really looking good. Rack angle from Stadodu. No one peeking as yet, but it looks like in just a second he'll get his wish, and he actually manages to hit that shot. Bit too fast for us to see, I suppose, on the flick. PR going to peek out as well to take down Fenvicious. Robin is trading them back, but is it going to be enough? The man advantage still retained. However, Zorte's got B control here. The unfortunate thing is the bomb in a tough spot. Got to find the kill, and he does. Lynx falls. Bomb going to be retrieved then, and it's the A rotates to try and hold things down. OBJ finds one on the long angle and just gets the final kill. So Offset, it's a close one again, but they managed to come alive. They managed to pull it back. And the old classic, as soon as that lead is under contention, they fight back for it. However, the pressure's still on, and the money not ideal. So if Team Unique can do the same to them and bounce back here, I think they're going to crush this economy. They're going to crush the hopes that Offset have got of closing this second map out easily.
And that's the thing, still not out of the murky water yet. ET side just a single defeat away from being put down onto another eco. That's the scary part. Offset have to do this clean. Have to ensure the rounds are won, keeping minimum 3 players alive, but or even 5 would be ideal just for the balance of the economy at the moment. And the scary part for Unique is the fact that in whatever Offset do, they're still going to be able to purchase for the next. I mean, Fenvicious, $11,000 on him is always going to be a hefty amount. Zorte around half of that, but of course still able to buy his AWP. The rest of the side is still fairly safe. This A-long control to be established. Molotov at least down toward Pit. Stadodu, it's the time to work it. Misses the first shot though, and that's going to open things up, but he's still peeks around the edge of the smoke, traded back by Passionoi, but Zlinks, there he is. Finding one more. The trade's all over the place at this moment. And Passionoi still able to find a kill with 2 points of health left on him. There is a rotate coming up from short, something that they have to be aware of. Bomb is to be planted. There's no offensive utility from that CT side to be able to force out these angles. Passionoi going to play now very defensively. inside of this pit position, and all they have to do is allow Zorte to stay alive. He spots out the first man, and surely has the support from Passionoi in the second. He misses a vital shot, though, and that's what happens when one of your fraggers picks up an AWP who's not the main man to do so, but he gets at least a vital one. Molotov, I don't think it's actually landed, but he gets it anyway. And I think there's enough time to land the defuse. There definitely is. An Offset, a retake that did get risky, but they wrap it up anyway. Not going to take an AWP into the next round, unfortunately, but still 14-12, and margins now extended by Offset. That was a must-win round, and they deliver.
Yeah, it definitely was. It definitely was, and a little bit of individual play towards the end. A tough one, like you say. The panic kind of setting in. Passionoi, not necessarily an easy shot, but really could have turned the tide. It would have been the 2 versus 1. I think they could easily have played off of each other, and unfortunately it ended up being the other way around. There's not really much that Passionoi could do. He's low HP. On the AWP, moving a bit slow. So an easy pickup in the end. But again, the money still not there for Offset. They can't be losing this one either. The pressure remains on. Meanwhile, on that T side, because of how clean some of those rounds were and a bit of loss bonus stacking up and Ben Fisher's having so much cash in the bank, they're still going to be able to buy up even if they lose this one. Long control coming in, no flash over the top, and OBJ going to be the first to fall. There are 2 more CTs around, but they weren't prepared for this. I think Team Unique, instead of going for smokes and flashes, etc., just ran out with like 1 flash. So essentially dry. And it works out for them. They get long control, they get the early advantage, and now they're able to play around that, run the clock down a little bit, bait out some utility from the remaining CTs, who are very unsure, by the way. 3 sat in at CT, ready to rotate, actually slowly making their way over towards B, which is a mistake. I think it's kind of a call of, if they go A, let them have it. If they come B, we'll fight them. And unfortunately, they make the incorrect site stack, so it will indeed be the 13th for Team Unique pretty easily. But Offset, it's kind of low risk, low reward sort of play from them. They're able to keep a hold of pretty much every single rifle. Can't even drop one across to OBJ, by the way, so it's going to be tough still into the next round, but it could have been a hell of a lot worse if they tried to fight this, I think.
Yeah, and thankfully they do keep maximum, well, not maximum, but sort of wanted amount of players alive. But we'll see what Offset can bring to the next. Like you said, OBJ is going to be impacted. Might just get a scout or something out of his teammate. But he's still going to be feeling the limitations of the economy and the fact that Unique will be looking to exploit this now. 14... looking like it might start to resonate for this Unique side, but yeah, OBJ, there we go. See him getting given that scout. Sedodi might have been able to drop a FAMAS, but not going to this time. The majority of side have invested, of course. OBJ and Zlinks down below 1,000, but they should be able to rebuy in the next if things do get a little iffy. A nice peek toward A long out of Robin, has the spawn. We'll trade AWP back to Zorte, just working, trying to get that initial pick, but nice nades out of the CT side. Maybe just trying to exploit the utility from the Unique side of things. Already a minute 30, looks like a dedication up toward the A bomb site, already through short. Smokes to go down, the flashes to join them. This seems like a full commitment right here. No rotates just yet out of the B players, but not necessarily needed up to now. They have 3 members in this defense, in this first line. Passionoi, though, going to read it beautifully. Fenvicious does exactly the same. And already down into a 5-on-3. PR might slowly back away and try and save yet again. And that does seem like the case. 14-14 looks like the scoreline. Unique. They've been able to bring things again into contention. Go to that close position. Tie it up. And be looking to try and exploit this lead now. They will be able to rebuy, but again, saving 3 if Zlinks dies will be unfortunate. They take him down, but with 2 players toward T-spawn, surely should try and hunt this last man just to make it so much weaker for them. Fenvicious, he will take down PR. That's worst case scenario. That's another rifle gone. Yes, they're able to rebuy them, but Zlinks also dies. Oh, that's so heartbreaking for Offset. That's the majority of their weaponry gone. If they'd have lost the scout, sure, they wouldn't have cared. But they lost 2 vital M4s. And they have to eco this. This is surely unique now up to round number 15.
Yeah, a blunder towards the end. Map and game costing blunder, perhaps. Only time will tell. It's going to be a real test going into the next round, but it does look like overtime is their best bet. And even then, the chances of it are relatively slim. Team Unique, as I said, this T-side, really good from them. They're just so sound on the fundamentals and rely on their individuals to such a good level. And oh my goodness, as you can see, can really, put the pressure on the shoulders of some of those individuals saying, look, listen, Polt, you're playing well today. Let's have you a little bit more proactive. Let's have you a little bit further forward. OBJ, the only one left. He's able to get one on the scout, but quickly dealt with a fairly decisive round. The money out of control. Not that it really matters, but it just kind of shows how dominant things have been from Team Unique, that they're able to build up this economy so very quickly once again. Looking really, really good. Really, really scary stuff as we head into round number 30. The full 30 rounds then to try and keep away this 2-0 from Team Unique. Offset have got this final buy, the double up setup coming in, a bit of aggression towards long and some utility expended. Robin actually does not get his opening pick. I think maybe had been off the back of the spawn, I would imagine. The double AWP to begin with, not really something that you'd keep. As you can see, going to move back and pick up the Krieg that he's been so solid on. But yeah, Team Unique, what can they get done here? Slowly in towards middle. Lynx has got to be careful.
If he falls, that's the majority of their A-site control being taken out. OBJ keep his team alive early into this one. More kills they get, the more overtime scenario comes to life. And, well, so far, 55 seconds on the clock. A great hold thus far from Offset, ensuring the first kill be coming through, but we'll see what they can deliver. Lynx finds the first. Beautiful trade out of Passionoid through the smoke. Somehow gets 2. Thankfully not able to make anything more out of it. But it is down to a 3-on-2. There is an AWP and Zorte, something that we know has been so powerful over the series so far. Trying to keep this CT side at bay. I think he spotted the knee. I'm fairly sure. Yes, he definitely did. That gives them a little bit of information to work off of. Zorte smart, but he now falls. Polt, last man alive, 1 versus 3. Has to bring this to light. The time is ticking. Oh, that molly. That could win it. They've deployed the smoke. Surely it's gone now. Even if they kill him, it's done. They've won it.
Oh, I think so. No, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. It's hella close. Oh my God. Goodness. Oh, that is a real head and hands moment. Oh, no, you've got to feel for them there. I mean, even if you are a hard Team Unique fan, that is so unlucky. Played it as well as he could, waited until the very end of that Molotov, managed to survive through it, but it just wasn't enough. The time too far gone. And yeah, that is a harsh one. That is a harsh one. Team Unique, I mean, credit where credit is due, a really good comeback from them. And definitely, unfortunate for Offset overall, but just a super difficult way to end it.
Yeah, and it's heartbreaking, unfortunately, for Offset, like, so close there in that situation. But yeah, it was that moment, that 14-12. Unique took attack pause, and honestly, it seemed like the gift from heaven at that point. They won every single round after it. That was the way that they closed out the series. Well, that is going to see the end of the first. We had a little bit of delay, but I think we've now made that back up. So we'll be starting right on cue in around 20 minutes or so. It'll be a Zacho Boars versus Gambit Youngsters, a series that honestly I am very, very excited for the fact that This Polish side are looking like a hot prospect, but in Gambit youngsters, they've looked incredible so far. Shiro's looked like an absolute massive performance. Inters and Nafani to provide the support. This side is really coming together, so we'll see how this series does develop, of course, in around 20 minutes' time as we see Zacho Boars versus Gambit youngsters. Will join you very, very soon for the start of our second best of 3.
Loot.bet, made for live betting.
Like a broken soul in a wonderland without angels. This is how I feel when the mirror shows me a stranger. Yeah. And I know they're just fragments of a world where your absence all I get to see. Take me back to the planet where you and I are still meant to be. 'Cause I'm incomplete when you ain't by my side, when you don't wake up next to me. Yeah, I'm incomplete. I need you here tonight to cover up these empty sheets. 'Cause I'm incomplete. Yeah, I'm incomplete. Hey. 'Cause I'm incomplete. I need you here tonight to cover up these empty sheets. 'Cause I'm incomplete. Crack of dawn, I imagine you waiting by my doorstep. But it won't be long before I realize it's a picture in my head, And I know they're just fragments of a world where your absence all I get to see. Take me back to